Hello and welcome to the Sorcerer's Cove. Yes, big change today. I've taken the hood off. So that's in response to a few people sort of saying, oh come on, take the hood off. So there you go, it's been taken off. Today we'll be discussing cannabis. Everyone's favourite drug, I would assume. Everyone's sort of favourite pastime, at least in our field. So anyway, before I get into the main issues, I just want to cover a few things. You can go to my sorcery group, which is the Sorcerer's Cove, or just Sorcerer's Cove, at Facebook. There you can discuss all different sorts of issues. You're happy to join, become a member, it's all free, it's Facebook. And we can discuss all different things that we've been looking at so far. I've had people with personal experiences and things they want to share. Email me, as well as people with questions and curiosities and so forth. So feel free to drop on in, drop a line, join a chat, start a discussion, and go from there. So anyway, that's that. Later on as well, at the end of this volume, I'll be finalising with a video on how to make tinctures and potions and so forth out of the medicines that we've discussed so far. If time willing, and depending on what I have available, I'll be able to show you some of those processes too as we do it. So anyway, on to our main subject today, which is cannabis. Now, there are a few different strains of cannabis from different regions of the world. There is the sativa, which has a longer flower and a thinner kind of spikier leaf on it. They grow in the more equatorial regions, and you can get, as far as growing specifics, you can get different information from different things. I got this book here. There we are. Cannabis cultivation. This is a must. These types of books, they help you understand also. I mean, this is by who's this dude? Mull Thomas. Yeah. So there you go. Obviously, if you are growing cannabis, be careful, be smart. Use it for personal use. Grow it for personal use. Don't go selling it. You're going to get busted. It's not worth going to jail because a bunch of dickheads don't understand that a plant is harmless from our point of view, but obviously they see it as the most evil thing in the world. That's why we have to fight against these kinds of tyrants. But anyway, cannabis is a beautiful plant. It has lovely sort of scents and so forth. So we discussed sativa. The other one is the indica. It grows in more arid regions, and it's a pretty hardy plant. It matures a little bit earlier and has tighter flowers and sort of broader leaves as well. Again, different conditions whether you want to grow it hydroponically or outdoors. I don't grow this myself, so I'll leave it up to you to chase the information that you need. For all those who are still new to wondering how you use medicines as opposed to drugs, there is a website from which I've gained some information to use on this as well, called Erowid. Now, Erowid is an awareness site. They don't encourage the use of all these drugs and so forth. They just provide a basis for information. So you can go to Erowid, E-R-O-W-I-D. So check that out. Give it a Google and you'll come up with it. So there is a third species of plant called the ruderalis, and it's not as common, so I won't worry about going into that. Anyway, the medicinal qualities of marijuana, as everyone knows so far, and science has even experimented with, or medical science has experimented with, marijuana is good for glaucoma and eye conditions. I know this because, as well myself, because I've had conjunctivitis and used marijuana to heal the conjunctivitis, and it works very quickly, very much straight away. Marijuana is also very good for fever. I had a very bad wisdom tooth. I got it extracted. The infection and pain continued for some time, so I was taking antibiotics and stuff. But then I finally got sick of all that other crap, and I said, bugger it, I'll have a cone. So I had 1 or 2 cones, and the next morning I woke up, fever was gone, the pain was gone, and it never came back. So there you go. Good for fevers and mild pain as well. Now, marijuana is a aphrodisiac or euphoric psychotropic plant. He has many names, which is ganja, mull, I've heard all the others. So there is a lot of history out there. Governments are even just starting to get to the point in some areas of understanding that people are demanding the use of these things for themselves. Very natural plant, absolutely harmless, unless you have pre-existing conditions to certain psychiatric illnesses such as schizophrenia. Marijuana and any psychotropic can, and I'll give it this, they can actually agitate to extent these types of conditions, so just be careful and be aware if you do suffer from those. Okay? But again, the way that's going to come up is through abuse, not regular use. Every form of abuse has its consequences, and it is the plant that's punishing you for not respecting it. So make your own decision. Okay, so I think we've covered the species, a little bit of this, that and the other. History. The Hindu Kush believe that the marijuana or the hemp plant was given from the gods as a gift for courage, strength, healing and power. I can concur with that. Many other species use it in combination with tobaccos in the indigenous communities and so forth. I think it's more useful than alcohol and more pleasurable as well. So there is a large timeline that goes back many millennia, and the Chinese actually used a lot of the hemp seeds in their food as a food source, and so did the Scythians in Europe. The ruderalis I mentioned earlier was actually grown more in different parts of Europe and Russia, so they're used to a certain type of climate. Again, these things are used in food. The Scythians were actually found to have used it in certain rituals and rites that they had as well. Again, you can find this on the timeline Error, it'll give you a full description of things there. And they were used in the rites of Delphi and the Oracle of Delphi, or Delphi, however you want to call it. As well as other types of psychotropics. Datura was also used, and I've done a video on that one you can see as well. So anyway, that's the rundown on it here. Have a look around, learn your information, learn what these things are about, as I always say, and get the information you need and enjoy. So that's cannabis for today. Again, if you ever have people petitioning for a change of laws, sign it, learn it, get to know it. It's one of the best allies you can ever have. I don't actually use cannabis very much in my meditations and so forth. I find it actually blurs my receptivity more than it does encourages it, but that's just me. But I encourage you to experiment, try, see how you go. So anyway, that's today, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Cheers.